Welcome back to Living Local. 50 years of trees. The second oldest tree farm in Henry County is joining us today for tips on accommodating a fresh Christmas tree in your home. I have Bob and Lisa Seighartner. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
So first of all, how did Seighartner Farms come to be?
Well, my mom and dad started me out when I was about 6 years old and planted trees, and my job was to water them with a tin can. And it was kind of a hard job at 6 years old,
Yeah.
you know. So that's how they started out. They had some land that was kind of a little rough, so they went up and planted Christmas trees in that. And we changed varieties a lot over the years and moved them around in rotation from place to place because there's certain diseases will build up if you keep the trees in the same spot.
50 years. That just boggles my mind. That's so wonderful that you guys have been keeping this going for so many years. So let's talk about fresh cut Christmas trees. What do you guys think some advantages are over an artificial tree?
Well, I can tell you one advantage is they're made in USA. They're not made in China.
Well, that is a benefit.
So, and also they store up carbon dioxide in the trees, and they're a renewable source. So, you know, it's a good plan for the environment to have Christmas trees. And sometimes it's a good thing for the wildlife, but they take advantage if the deer shred the trees pretty badly. Mm-hmm. It's one of the things that causes for tree farms to give up. One, when we first started out, seedlings were 5-10 cents a piece. Now they're $4 and $5 a piece.
Oh wow, that's a significant
Inflation. Second thing is that the deer do a lot of damage to them. You can get a tree that's 12 years old and they'll shred them. Just shred them like this.
Any way to protect them from that, or
well,
just kind
of too costly. You'd have to have an 8-foot fence because deer can really jump.
Yes, they can. They're
well,
like. Whew.
And the third thing is that the land costs have gone up too. You take a tree, the fir tree, that takes 20 years to grow, tie up the ground for 20 years, and you're tying up $300 an acre cash rent ground for 20 years. That's $6,000.
Yeah.
So you got to look at your costs, and that's one of the things to stay in business for a long time is you have to keep a handle on your costs.
Mm-hmm. So with all of these, I guess, challenges that are facing tree farmers, how have you maintained 50 years?
Well, just being persistent and changing varieties. When diseases pop up, you change to a different variety, and sometimes it's a slow process because it used to be early on in the tree business, red pine was popular and white pine was popular. Then we went to Scotch pine. Everybody had Scotch pine, but they had a lot of problems with those because they had crooked trunks, massive trunks, and they shed needles like crazy. Then we kind of went to the spruce. They kind of ended up having their stiff branches. They hold ornaments real well, but they're prickly like cactus, and they'll dry out faster. Now the premium tree is a fir, and there's several different varieties of fir trees. They tend to hold their needles better. They don't shed. They have nice straight trunks on them. So you want the customer to be happy
and they have nice little soft. They're not as soft as the white pines are the long feathery needles, but the firs have that. They're just soft to the touch. You can just run your fingers like that on the branches, and it just doesn't. They're not rough.
That'd be nice, especially if you have kiddos in the house that, kind of mess with the tree and so they won't get hurt.
But the blue spruce, they're like cactus.
Yeah.
Okay, so avoid the blue spruce, I guess.
Well, they're all right if you have heavy ornaments. If you hang a lot of heavy ornaments, that's the tree you want.
Oh.
White pine, if you decorate with bows and things like that, less ornaments, that's why you want a white pine. They're kind of pretty, and but they don't hold a lot of ornaments. Their branches are a little less firm. And then the firs, they cannot hold as heavy as the spruce, but I have several ornaments, and the shape of fir tree is just amazing.
Well, once someone picks out the tree that best fits their needs, what are some ways to trim and shape that tree, just for people if they're not sure?
Well, one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they come out to pick a tree is they look for the fullest tree on the lot. Well, you don't want to have a real full tree, because the fuller the tree, the faster they dry out, because there's more surface area for to pull the water out of them. And so these commercially grown trees at these tree lots like Walmart or whatever, they're mass produced and over trimmed, and they just will dry out faster. You want a tree that is a little more open. That's why they had the ornaments for the trees. And way back when, they didn't trim them very much, which made them come faster rotation on it. And so it used to take like 6 or 8 years to have a tree, but they weren't trimmed. Well, when you start trimming them, it holds them back, fills them out a little more, but then it lengthens the time. It's almost 20 years, like I said, for a fir tree to come to size.
And it's not just the winter when Bob works on trees.
Yeah.
In the middle of the summer, he's out there trimming trees, because what variety is it that needs to be in the summer?
All the pines have to be trimmed in the summertime, in the hottest time of the year, like June and July. And the mosquitoes, every time you shear them, the mosquitoes come out of them like crazy, and you know, sap all over you.
Oh, geez.
The hardest months he's out with long sleeves trimming trees.
So,
oh my goodness.
And we used to have a neighbor that had a party lake, and you'd hear him out there sliding down the water slide and having a great old time, and here I am roasting.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, you guys, after 50 years of having Seighartner Farms, I'm sure you have some interesting stories. Could you share one with us?
Oh, there's several, but I'll shorten it up here. Used to be a little girl that had come out there, and I had a red coveralls, look like your red outfit there, and they come up to me and she says, "Can I help Santa Claus cut the tree?" and you know, of course, with a beard and that, they figured it's Santa Claus and that, and then she paid for it out of her change, like her piggy bank. I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, your heart just taps. Then we had some funny stories there where they had a couple old ladies. They come out there and they went around the lake and around the lake and around the lake. They spent 2 hours looking for a Christmas tree, you know, and finally they come up to me and they says, "Don't you have anything like they have in the department stores?" And finally I said, "Lady, we grow them, we don't manufacture them."
That is the truth, is it not? I love that.
The other thing that I want people to know is the 3 types of trees that we have. The spruce are a $20 tree. We sell trees by the type, not by the foot.
Okay.
Okay, and $35 for the white pine and $50 for a fir tree. And you could get a 20-foot tree and it still costs you $50. Not that anybody needs a 20-foot tree, but
who knows?
When we first started out in the tree business, I used to charge by the foot or by the size and that, and people spent so much time, you know, deciding, you know, whether it was an inch or so past the limit. So I decided you certainly have the costs in them as it is there, so charge them by the tree. And so it worked out better. Another thing I found is that when the weather is nice, it's a whole lot better to go out and get a tree, because in the 70s it was really, really cold. It was below 0. And when you get the tree and put it in people's trunk or tie it on their roof, they would just go shatter, you know, because of the cold. And so various things with the trees and like that. And then sometimes we've had some real big trees that come out that the branches were dragging on the side of the van.
Oh, goodness. I'm sure. So many wonderful stories. Well, Bob and Lisa Seighartner, thank you guys so much for joining us here on Living Local. It was so lovely to have you guys here. And if you would like some more information on Seighartner Farms, they are located at 3803 North 1800th Avenue in Coal Valley, Illinois. You can call the farm at 309-716-8513. We'll also have those details posted on ourquadcities.com. Stay with us, more Living Local.